500, and New Jersey, 863-0400. Day and evening classes. The People's Court today at 4:30.
In response to the decision made at the town council meeting, the mayor offered only a brisk no comment. Jinx Avery Mallory, wife of Monticello Police Chief Derek Mallory, died today in her Monticello home of an unspecified illness. She was found by her husband when he returned home from police headquarters at about 6 o'clock this evening. Mrs. Mallory was well known in local theatrical circles. She had spent some time in New York pursuing a career in theater before coming to Monticello a year ago. After graduating from Wellesley College, she continued her dramatic studies with Madame Tatiana Ranovsky, a celebrated drama teacher and former star of the Moscow Art Theater. Mrs. Mallory is survived by her husband and her father, Mr. Ralph Sutcliffe, a businessman of Harborville, Massachusetts. Although Chief Mallory could not be reached for comment, informed sources say that funeral arrangements are being completed at St. Michael's Episcopal Church.
Why are you so riveted to that news broadcast, darling? Was that someone you knew?
No. First time I ever knew a woman who died twice.
Beg pardon, madam.
Yes, Gregory.
There is a Mr. James Diedrichson on his way up to see Mr. Gentry.
What? I can't see him. I'm gone, Gregory. Tell him I'm gone. I just can't see him.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by new Formula Era, a new combination of powerful cleaners concentrated into 1/4 cup, and by Coast Soap, the refreshing soap that brings you back to life. Coast Deodorant Soap, the eye-opener.
Look at it this way. You're going in the record books for this one.
That's true. What pitcher ever gave up 34 runs in an inning before?
Come on, you'll feel better after a shower.
I don't feel better.
You didn't even lather up yet.
Yes, I did.
Let me see that soap. It smells like medicine. Try this Coast and try not to drop it.
Boy, it smells terrific. Feels terrific. Hey, I feel terrific. This is deodorant soap?
Sure.
Ooh, this is some soap. Coast. You know, I feel so great, I think I'll be ready to pitch again tomorrow.
You may be ready. I'm not sure baseball is.
No other soap picks you up quite like Coast, the eye-opener.
Chocolate sauce, soaked in. Motor oil, seeped in. Collis oil, ground in. Unless you clean the dirts that go all the way through, your whole wash isn't clean. That's why we invented Era. Era has the power of cleaners for deep-down dirt, for soaked-in grease, for seeped-in oil, for ground-in collis oil. Penetrating cleaners concentrated to put more cleaning power on the stain. Watch Era clean all the way through these 3 layers of tough stains. Put a teaspoon of Era only on the top. Its power penetrates. Rub, run under warm water, and look. Era cleaned all the way through. And when you get the tough stains clean, your whole wash is clean. Era cleans all the way through.
Why are you getting so hysterical, darling? What's wrong with you, Johnny?
I'm not hysterical. Perfectly calm. I just don't want to see the guy, that's all.
Oh. I see. You owe him money. Well, not to worry, sweetheart.
No, it's not that.
Well, what is it? You have been acting very strangely for days.
Excuse me, Mr. Gentry, do you want me to get rid of this Mr. Diedrichson, or...
No. Send him in. I'll talk to him. He probably wants to talk theater business or something.
Very good, sir. Excuse me.
Would a drink help?
No, I don't think so.
Well, if you ask me, what you need is a good long rest.
You know, that might not be such a bad idea.
Mr. Diedrichson.
Hi, Johnny.
How you doing, Jim? Mrs. Revere, may I present my friend Jim Diedrichson?
How do you do, Mr. Dietrichson?
How do you do, Mrs. Rivera?
Well, what attractive young friends you have, darling. And so athletic. Yes, well, I'll leave you two to your meeting. Goodbye, Mr. Dietrichson.
Mrs. Rivera?
For God's sakes, Jim, what are you doing here? After all that has happened in this penthouse, what do you want to talk about, Jinx? What is it? What do you want?
Can't believe she's dead. No. No, I didn't come here to talk about Jinx.
What is it, some kind of trouble?
No, it's not me, it's Raven. I'm afraid for Raven.
Raven Whitney? She's about the last person in the world I would worry about with all her money.
It's her money that got her in all this trouble.
You know, for some reason, Jim, I just can't get all heated up over it.
Yeah, well, you let me keep talking and you will get heated up.
Jimmy, listen to me. I don't want anything else to do with this. I want out. Nothing.
We're already out. We were cut out of this a long time ago. With Smiley and Hector, they cut us out. But there have been some developments.
What are you talking about?
Look, Johnny, Smiley and Hector had this plan all along. They used us to promote it, and they were going to leave us holding a bag of nothing.
My friend, I accepted that fact of nothing a long time ago.
That's not the worst of it. They talked Raven into skipping bail and leaving the country with a lot of cash. $20 million in negotiable bonds.
$20 million? That's all the money in the world.
Yeah. Well, apparently the Wilson brothers had a little bit of trouble. They miscalculated Raven. Raven slipped by Smiley.
Well, what's the problem?
Smiley's on her trail. Can you imagine what he's going to do when he catches up with her? I mean, he's already a little crazy, but with $20 million?
You don't mean
there's something you don't even know about Smiley. He spent time in prison already for bank robbery. I think he'd kill Raven or anybody else that got in his way.
Gee, this guy's getting worse than I ever thought it would be.
That's why I need you to help me. Is there anything at all that you can think of that would help me find Raven? You got to help me find Raven before Smiley does. We've got enough on our conscience without murder.
Yes, my dears. While you were both wasting time staring into space and contemplating your dilemma, I tracked down Valerie Bryson's friend, Hazel Kirby.
You always come up with a surprise topper, don't you, Libby?
I can do without your sarcasm, Spencer. I can't imagine you're entirely disinterested.
That wasn't sarcasm, it was admiration.
How did you find her?
I checked out with her old school in Lucerne. They gave me the name and location of an alumni association here in America.
Clever girl. Why didn't we think of that?
Because you and Spencer are always playing your little games together, that's why.
My hat's off, Libby.
You can't imagine how many frustrating phone calls I made before I was successful. The phone bill is going to run into hundreds.
Well, why was it so difficult to trace her if you had the information from the school?
Simple. She got married. Her name is now Hazel Weston.
Weston. Where is she now?
Would you believe? Right outside Monticello.
I don't believe it.
It's true. Here I have her address and phone number.
Let me see that, Libby. Hazel Weston.
Now, wait. We've got to figure out exactly how to approach this woman if we want to find out about her relationship with Jefferson Brown. We don't know how she might react.
I'm tired of strategies, Spencer. I want some direct action. Yes, hello. I would like to speak to Miss Hazel Weston, please.
This is Hazel Weston.
How do you do? I was wondering if I might ask you for some help.
I don't know until I know what it is, right?
Yes, of course. Well, you see, I am an old friend of Valerie Bryson. Now, I just arrived here from Europe to see her, and I found that she's gone to Europe herself.
Oh, that's kind of dumb, isn't it? I mean, to come all this way before checking it out.
Yes, you might say that. It was kind of dumb. At any rate, I was wondering if I might get together with you for just a few moments.
What for? Look, I haven't talked to Val Bryson in 3 years, and I don't intend to talk about her to anyone.
So much for direct action.
If you think I'm taking that for an answer, you're nuts.
But what if I don't like it?
Her first day of school.
I think you're going to like it.
You do what you can to reassure her.
You're going to make a lot of new friends.
You give her lots of love, the best advice. And the orange juice you choose is Minute Maid. You know it's 100% pure, and it always tastes fresh and delicious.
Hi. Hi. I think I'm gonna like it.
America's growing up on the fresh taste of Minute Maid. Make it Minute Maid.
Hey, Gerald, since you're the class chess champ, I'm picking you to pick the championship. Ruffles brand or regular chips? First these.
Kind of regular, guys.
Now, Ruffles.
Tremendous potato taste. Ruffles win.
In a national test, moms preferred Ruffles by an average of almost 2 to 1 over leading regular potato chips.
Look, you don't have to be a champ to know which chip is champ, so judge for yourself.
Ruffles, the championship. Judge for yourself.
I can't believe she's gone, Mike. Jinx was so full of energy. She's so beautiful when I saw her.
Honey, take it easy.
I mean, it's not as though we didn't know it was going to happen. It's still just as much of a shock as if it was out of the blue.
Always. You never get used to that feeling of shock.
Yeah, I'm sure Derek feels that way right now. It's particularly hard for him, honey, because all along he's been pushing down the threat of her dying kind of on a subliminal level, you know, hoping that it didn't exist. Oh, it's his pain that's especially hard to take.
Time is the only thing that can help him. But if I know Derek, he'll stay on the job, and that's usually the best idea, to keep occupied, distracted. I'll get that.
Hey, surprise!
Well, the prodigal returns.
Thank you, Mike. How you doing?
Hello, darling.
Hi. I would have used my key, but I didn't want to startle you.
Oh, well, all right. Come on, take off your jacket.
Thank you.
Tell us everything.
Okay.
How about a drink to celebrate your homecoming?
Oh, that'd be wonderful, Mike. Thank you. Is there something wrong here? Look like you've been crying, Nancy.
Jinx Avery died today.
Oh, good Lord. I'm sorry. What happened?
Kelly, I think Nancy's a little too upset to go into it right now.
Okay.
Welcome home.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, we expected you a little later than this. I'm delighted that you're here, but what happened to bring you back from Rome sooner than you expected?
Well, it was a rather sudden decision. Dad got a call from Washington, and they wanted him to come over and do some consulting work for the government. So Mom and I just got on the plane and came back to the States with him.
Marvelous.
You mean they're here?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, wouldn't it be wonderful if they could come out for a few days? How are they, Kelly? You know we don't correspond well.
Oh, they're fine. We had a fabulous time in Rome. You know, I really didn't realize how much I missed them until we had spent some time together, but then I started missing you and Mike.
Well, that's nice. Did you miss anyone else?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I think I'm going to get in touch with her. Has anybody heard from Val?
No, we haven't. Not yet. Didn't you try to reach her while you were over there?
Yeah, well, I thought that might not be such a good idea. I mean, she was moving from one town to the other, and I didn't have a schedule for her itinerary.
How long is she supposed to be gone?
I don't know, Mike. I wish I did.
Well, she shouldn't be too long now.
There's one thing for sure. When Val comes back to Monticello, I'm going to find out where I stand with her one way or the other. And I think the best way to do that is with the proposal of marriage.
Howdy! What have we here?
A mismatch, Minnie. This new tile's the color my floor's supposed to be, but just look at the difference.
That's 'cause you've got ground-in dirt stuck in these little crevices. You need spick and span. It cleans into crevices and lifts out ground-in dirt that dulls your floor's color.
But is it safe?
For no wax, of course.
I'm a believer, Minnie.
Don't believe me, believe the results you see. Spick and span. Helps your floor show its true colors.
Long distance, Aunt Claire.
I'm an aunt. Oh, let me turn this off. Oh, bye. You're an uncle.
A hungry one.
The chicken must have soaked up a lot of oil.
Won't it taste greasy?
Well, I used Crisco oil. Let's see.
Looks good, huh? Good? It's fantastic. How do you know about Crisco oil?
Aunts know these things.
Crisco oil with no cholesterol makes fried foods that taste delicious, not greasy.
Betsy smells funny.
That's baby smells. Smelly formula, sticky baby food.
Diapers.
That's ammonia. Baby laundry is a special problem. So instead of regular detergent, I use Dreft with enriched borax. It's specially made for baby laundry.
There's borax in grain after grain of Dreft. Dreft gets tough baby laundry clean and clean smelling.
Now she smells good.
Dreft cleans baby smells out of baby laundry.
It's a terrible thing about Jinx Avery, Nicole. I am deeply sorry.
I know, Geraldine. We all feel the same way. Shock and sadness and deep sympathy for Derek.
I must send condolences. As soon as you find out about the services, let me know.
Yes, I think it's just going to be a simple ceremony tomorrow morning.
I must tell you how well you handled the notice of her death on the broadcast. Particularly difficult since you're feeling such a deep personal loss.
It was one of the most difficult stories I've ever had to broadcast. Did you know her very well?
I met her at your Christmas party and then once briefly at the theater. Certainly a lovely-looking girl.
Oh, she was lovely inside, too. She handled these last few months magnificently. It's a treasure to cherish.
It certainly is.
Well, I'd better be going. Can I drop you by your hotel?
No, my dear. I am no longer a hotel resident. I decided there was no reason in this world why I should stay away from the Whitney house 1 minute longer.
Well, then the painting's been finished.
So I'm told.
Great, that's wonderful. Here, I'll get it.
Nicole.
Jim, hello.
Hello. Mrs. Saxon? Hi, Mr. Diedrichson. Come in.
Thank you. I hope I'm not interrupting anything here.
Oh, no, I was just leaving. Jim, I suppose you know about Jinx. I know you worked together at the theater and you were friends.
Yes. I'm gonna miss her.
Yes. Well, good night, Geraldine.
Good night, dear.
Jim.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, Mr. Diedrichson, I must say it's quite a surprise seeing you here. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Now, the purpose of your visit?
Raven Whitney, Mrs. Saxon.
I see. What about her?
Well, I know that you're close to her. And I have something very important that I need to talk to her about. And I don't know where to find her. Do you know where she is?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
You haven't heard from her at all?
No, not at all. I must admit that I'm deeply concerned about her. Her whereabouts and the circumstances of the past week or so are mysteries that I haven't solved myself. But apparently, Raven felt the need of some sort of rest cure of some kind, and she's gone abroad in search of it. But where she is exactly, I have no idea.
I see. Well, if you do find out, please, call me. This is a communal number, and so please keep calling in until you get me personally. Mrs. Saxon, this is very important to me and to Mrs. Whitney.
You make it sound so ominous. Do kindly tell me what this is all about.
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to do that right now. But please know that I only have Raven's best interests in mind. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Good night.
No, it can't be you. Sky Whitney's dead.
No. I'm not a ghost. I'm flesh and blood, and I will explain why I'm here if you just answer a few questions for me.
Well, what do you want? Why are you here?
Well, first, is your husband here? I'd rather avoid a misunderstanding.
We were divorced 2 years ago. There's no one here but me.
Ah, I see. Well, would you mind if I sat down?
If there's no way to stop you.
Thank you. That's most kind. I'd like to speak to you about the period when you were in San Moritz, if I may. When you knew Jeff Brown and Valerie Bryson and me.
You?
Me, Sky Whitney.
I'd rather not think about that time. Especially Valerie Bryson. I haven't thought about her in years, and I'd like to keep it that way, like she doesn't exist.
You sound very bitter. Why so acrimonious?
Because she's a rotten little tramp, that's why. Always pretending to be so sweet and innocent, and still wanting all the men in the world to fall all over her, just the way you did. No. No, now you've got me believing you're Sky Whitney, and I know you can't be.
Yes, well, I suppose I should tell you the truth. You're right, I'm not Sky. I'm his twin brother. And I'm trying to trace the last couple of years of his life. I'd like to find out what happened before he died.
You know, it's no use asking me. I was as surprised as anyone when I read he was killed.
Well, you knew Jeff Brown. I'm told that you dated him quite a bit. Did you two ever discuss Sky?
Of course. Jeff didn't like your brother very much. Are you aware of that?
Oh, yes, I was aware of that. Well, did Jeff ever plan anything against my brother, or anything that I should know about that you can remember?
Of course not. I'd have remembered if he had, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure you would have.
Yeah. But why don't you ask the divine Val Bryson? She certainly ought to know. She dated Jeff, too, you know.
She did. I was under the impression that my brother spent most of his time with her.
Oh, really? Don't be so damn naive. Val found time to double-cross Sky plenty.
You know how I'm gonna dry off?
With Johnson's baby oil. That's right, because that way I dry off soft. Before I reach for a towel, I reach for the Johnson's baby oil. A few drops of Johnson's mixes with the water on my skin and forms a moisture seal that helps hold in all that moisture. So I don't feel greasy, just softer, silkier than ever. After your next shower, don't just dry off soft with Johnson's baby oil from Johnson & Johnson.
If you want a tough 3-ply trash bag, you're going to have to buy Glad. It's that simple, because only Glad makes the 3-ply bag. Why buy Glad? Because bargain bags can do this. And that's no bargain. Glad gives you 3 tough plies, 1 layer that resists tears, reinforced by 2 more layers that resist punctures. Glad 3-ply bags, the only 3-ply trash bag you can buy. And now 3-ply lawn bags, only from Glad.
On One Life to Live, a daring attempt to escape.
She'll be brought back.
Then what?
That's a question you shouldn't have to ask.
And for Karen, each moment brings a new threat of danger. One Life to Live.
Can I fix you a drink, Buffy?
No, dear, thank you. You seem a bit edgy tonight. Does it have something to do with your meeting with Mr. Dietrichson?
No, I'm fine.
Now, look here. I don't know what your troubles are, and I am not asking you to explain them to me. But I meant what I said about a nice, long rest.
I don't know, Buffy. I've got a lot
Johnny, how would you like to go to Europe? We'll travel the entire continent. First class, of course. It'll do you good. And I promise to do everything possible to make you forget your troubles. Now, doesn't that sound lovely?
You know, Buffy, I think you're right. This would be the perfect time to travel.
No, honey. You just leave it to me. I'll take care of everything. Right, now you're going to be in New York at what time? No. It's not too early, especially not for a good customer. No, well, I'm known for the service I give, and that's the truth. Now, you just be here first thing in the morning, and I'll have this whole thing straightened out for you within 24 hours. Right. But there's only one thing, though. I got to know your real name. I mean, and I do mean your real name. I can't do a thing for you unless I have your legitimate handle. What? Right? Annie White. Okay, Miss Whitney. We're going to see you real soon. Okay, all right. So long. Bye. Hey, Albert.
Yeah, Wolfie? You call me?
No, I was calling the dog. What do you know about a name, Raven Whitney?
Wait a minute, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, well, either you heard it or you haven't heard it.
Yeah, I think I got it. Ain't she the wife of that rich guy who got killed in Switzerland? He got blown right off a mountain?
Skylar Whitney's will?
Mm-hmm.
But we got a real live one here, Al, sweetheart.
How you figure?
Are you kidding? What we got here is a person of some considerable big wealth, and that's just putting it mildly.
Well, it's got to be the same Whitney.
Well, I'm sure that there aren't two people in this world running around with the name Raven. Now, this lady's running scared for some reason and trying to get out of the country.
Why?
Who cares why? Probably carrying a fortune, and she's going to live in some foreign land. Now, you see, what we got to do, Al, is we got to send her on a real long trip. A real long trip. By water.
Who'll last longer, Rick or Dry Idea Roll-On? Give ordinary roll-ons this kind of workout. They'll start to give out on you. They're mostly water, but not Dry Idea. Watch. The ordinary roll-on here, Dry Idea here. Minutes later, when perspiration starts, much of the ordinary roll-on can wash away, but not Dry Idea. Dry Idea has hardly any water, so it goes on drier, stays on longer, keeps you drier. In fact, you'll give out before Dry Idea.
Shoals, sensational sandals will make you feel great all day.
Sachet sandals from Scholl. Soft to cushion each step. Contoured and flexible to move as your feet move.
Shoals, flexible sandals will comfort you along the way. Sachet, it's so comfortable through and through. Sachet is the sandal that's made for you.
Tonight, Fonzie has a big move in mind for his grandmother, but she has a mind of her own on happy days. Then Shirley becomes a frantic fugitive when a bank bandit leaves her holding the bag on Laverne and Shirley. After, it's a comedy of errors when Terry gets the wrong idea about Jack's romantic life on Three's Company. And on Too Close for Comfort, the girls' surprise anniversary party for Henry and Muriel turns into a zoo. Tonight on ABC.
Surviving 82, tonight at 5 on 7.